So we've got a few slides on iOS 16. We may or may not go into as much detail as Ventura. Let's see where we go. Hardware support. Who's got
Hardware
the list?
support. Yeah, I was going to say not every iOS device, gets iOS 16. We are mostly up to I believe it's the iPhone 8 and the iPhone SE are the oldest two devices that support Mac or iOS 16. Pretty long run. So I was going to say phones from the past 5 or 6 years will work with iOS 16. So maybe this is a sad time for us to say the original iPhone SE gets to go away. Or the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 6 are finally out of our environment. So we can, wish them well, retire them to our desk drawers, give them to small children. These are all things that you are available to do. But maybe, it's going to say having a good upgrade policy available to you that's going to, keep you on a more recent version of the operating system is going to be awesome.
Right.
This one I love.
Me
So
too.
I was gonna say I have made a couple of lock screens that I love, and I've tied them to. You can do some really cool things. So I'm gonna show my phone here. This is a photo I took at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and at Disney, and you can see I've got my Do Not Disturb set. I've got the font custom. I've got a bunch of of widgets missing from this one. But it's really just a place where you get to decide what goes on your home screen, whether or not you want up to 4 widgets from apps that will tell you the weather or your calendar appointments or this battery status on your AirPods Max. You've got all sorts of options there. And it's a great experience for end users to really feel like their device is theirs. I've generally found in my IT career when a user considers their device to be theirs, at least on some level, they take better care of it. And so allowing end users to customize their lock screen is a big deal. There are 6 different fonts. There are a ton of different templates for this. There's a really great, a face that you can put on here for, portraits. So for example, I have a face that has my son. You'll love the Cubs hat there, Pam.
Love that.
But it's got a lot of different things on there. And you can tie an individual lock screen. I, for example, have one that's set up for driving mode so that I know what the weather is. And so, there it gives you the lock screen changes based on what the weather is going to be and predicted to be. And so there I can tell you what the air quality is, what the sun, what the weather is for the day. It's super cool. There are a lot of really great options for that and for different kind of, emoji backgrounds, which are a lot of fun. And so there's a lot of really great functionality that's, tied up in the new lock screen customization. And of course, for those end users with iPhone 14 Pro devices, the lock screen is, of course, now always on. And so you can always see that something's going on your device, which is kind of cool and gives you those back, those things there. So lots of good stuff.
Pretty clear what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the day after this webinar.
Yes, it's the new.
I'll be writing.
Yeah, you're going through and customizing that like you would with your the Memojis when they first came out.
Oh yeah, I still do that.
One thing that is worth mentioning to this audience is that it doesn't look like the lock screen customizations or those settings can be set or locked by an organization for things like, turning off the always on screen to preserve battery, or, this phone belongs to whatever org, or branding the lock screen so it has, the company logo on it. So, that's the work phone as opposed to your personal phone. Does that seems like that's something that is either not yet implemented or Apple just doesn't see that as a thing?
Yeah, I just don't think we've got the detail on that yet. And so, if this is something you want to restrict in your organization, definitely file feedback. Give Apple the information that they need and the reasoning that you've got, as well as how many devices you have to make good decisions here.
Yeah, I mean, even just going back to the lockdown mode discussion, just the privacy of, you misplace your phone and it has a picture of your family on it. That's not necessarily the best thing for, security and privacy concerns. So if it's, especially if it's, company or corporate owned, whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
iMessage.
Yes. I can't tell you how many times I've used this already. iOS 16 obviously dropped in September, and we get an edit button finally.
But you're not
We get an edit
perfect,
button.
Tom?
I judging by my typing and my typo histories, Justice X, has anybody ever typed that into their phone by accident? Because the C and the X are right next to each other, and autocorrect is like, I don't know. So I was going to say the number of times that maybe a Siri correction has gone awry, and that is definitely a welcome thing to see. People on the most recent version of the operating system that supports this, that'll be macOS Ventura and iOS 16, will see the message update, and it will show you a little edited tag on the bottom of the message. People on older versions of the operating system will just get a new copy of that message. So, the behavior is pretty clear. It's not going to let you, totally delete a message, and essentially it will let you delete a message, but the other side will know that you have deleted a message from your iChat history. So
And
be aware.
do we know how retrievable those are from the
I
carrier?
don't at this point. My expectation is that those are probably struck from the device on both sides and struck from the backup. You'll see that a message had been sent, but I don't know what the recoverability here is. iOS 16 has not been out long enough for us to really have updates to the forensics tools that will give us that option. But I'm sure that someone out there is definitely studying the changes that have been made to iMessage and how they appear on device.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Please subscribe and check out more content from us.